In the day's other news, thousands of firefighters in Southern California are racing against the clock to prevent a massive wildfire from spreading into nearby neighborhoods. The Thomas Fire has burned more than 234,000 acres in just over a week, but it's still only 20% contained. William Brangham has our report.
With flames hundreds of feet high, the Thomas Fire burned across coastal ridges near Santa Barbara. It's the 9th straight day this fire has burned in California. Overnight in the foothills, residents watched the blaze in awe and horror.
We have a great view every day here of what's going on, and it's creeping up, and today is the scariest day so far.
Now the 5th largest fire in the state's history, the Thomas Fire expanded northwest from Ventura County to Santa Barbara. The fire continues to march deeper inside Los Padres National Forest and up the coastline. On those hard-to-reach ridges, crews started their own controlled fires, burning dry grass in the hope that the larger blaze won't then be able to spread to the homes below.
What the purpose of this is to burn off this whole bowl of vegetation and create a huge buffer between the east end of Santa Monica Canyon and the west end of Santa Monica Canyon.
The challenge lies in finding safe footing on the deep canyon walls for firefighters to take a stand. Below, ash-covered plants looked like a fresh snowfall, while smoke suffocated neighborhoods.
Mandatory evacuations.
Tens of thousands of people remain evacuated across the affected counties. Officials say the blaze has destroyed more than 680 homes, including Arthur Hertz's, whose house and everything around it burned to the ground.
It's charred tree trunks. There's no vegetation. It's just dirt. It's like sand. It's like completely gone.
The roaring blaze shows no signs of slowing, as warnings about the unpredictable Santa Ana winds and continued lack of moisture extend through the week. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm William Brangham.
California officials estimate that it has cost more than $48 million so far to fight the massive Thomas Fire. Federal terrorism charges were filed today against the suspect in yesterday's failed New York City subway bombing. Prosecutors said that Akayed Ullah, an immigrant from Bangladesh, wanted to set off a homemade bomb during the morning rush hour to, quote, maximize destruction. Meanwhile, in Washington, President Trump again called on Congress to overhaul the nation's immigration system in the wake of a pair of terror incidents carried out by immigrants.
There have now been 2 terrorist attacks in New York City in recent weeks carried out by foreign nationals here on green cards. The first attacker came through the visa lottery, and the second through chain migration. We're going to end both of them. The lottery system and chain migration. We're going to end them fast.
Yesterday's blast happened less than 2 months after an immigrant from Uzbekistan plowed his truck into a bike path near the World Trade Center, which led to the deaths of 8 people. President Trump is facing a new wave of calls for a congressional investigation after more than a dozen women accused him of sexual misconduct. Our Lisa Desjardins has more on that and on the growing number of other sexual misconduct allegations that have recently come to light.
From Democrats in Congress who pushed 2 of their own to resign last week, a turn to the president.
Mr. President, you do not live under a different set of rules.
Today, 54 Democratic congresswomen called on the House Oversight Committee to investigate allegations President Trump groped or otherwise sexually harassed women before he took office.
Sexual abuse will not be tolerated, whether it's by a Hollywood producer, the chef of a restaurant, a member of Congress, or the President of the United States. No man or woman is above the law.
Mr. President, what did you mean when you...
The president has denied all charges, but New York Senator Kirsten Gillibrand and 5 other senators have said he should resign. In a tweet, the president swung back, writing that Gillibrand previously came to him, quote, begging for campaign contributions, saying she, quote, would do anything for them. That set off a firestorm of reaction from the senator herself.
It was a sexist smear attempting to silence my voice. And I will not be silenced on this issue.
And others on the left. Connecticut Senator Richard Blumenthal.
The president's tweet this morning against Senator Gillibrand was a disgraceful, sexist slur.
White House Press Secretary Sarah Sanders said the president's tweet was in no way sexual.
I think only if your mind is in the gutter would you have read it that way. He's obviously talking about political partisan games that people often play.
Also on the Hill today, a New York Times report detailed the inner workings of Republican Representative Blake Farenthold's office, calling it a hostile work environment rife with sexual innuendo. The Texas congressman used $84,000 of taxpayer money to settle a sexual harassment claim with a former staffer 3 years ago. Allegations of sexual assault also hit the sports world today. The NFL Network suspended 3 of its analysts after a former stylist, Jamie Cantor, accused them of inappropriate touching and showing her their genitals. Cantor claimed 4 additional employees also sexually harassed her. And a CBS News report chronicled recent sexual assault and harassment of female cadets at the U.S. Air Force Academy, something the Pentagon says has been on the rise since 2007.
I was sexually assaulted my freshman year, and the sexual harassment I endured eventually made me leave.
The women interviewed by CBS say the Academy failed to report the attacks or reprimand their attackers. The head of the Academy defended how they handle such cases, but also said,
I'm disgusted by those reports. I mean, just like you.
For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Lisa Desjardins.
The chairman of the Senate Judiciary Committee is speaking out against 2 of President Trump's most controversial court nominees. Republican Senator Chuck Grassley of Iowa told CNN that he has advised the White House to reconsider the nominations of Jeff Mateer, who was tapped to become a federal judge in Texas, and Brett Talley, who was selected to serve in Alabama. Both have faced scrutiny over controversial remarks they've made in the past. The stock market was mostly mixed today, but 2 indexes again hit record highs. The Dow Jones Industrial Average surged 118 points to close at 24,504, a new record. The Nasdaq fell more than 12 points, and the S&P 500 rose 4, a record for it as well. And a passing of note, San Francisco's mayor died unexpectedly overnight. Democrat and former civil rights lawyer Ed Lee became the first Asian American to lead the city in 2011. Lee oversaw a technology-driven economic boom and worked to create more affordable housing. He was also a staunch defender of San Francisco's sanctuary city policy toward immigrants. Ed Lee was 65 years old.